The movie begins with young turtle hatchlings making their way to the ocean. Sammy turned out to be the weakest as he was the last turtle to hatch and couldn't climb out to get to the ocean. He was at risk as the raptors had begun their hunting and could spot him at any moment. Sammy, unable to climb out, caught the attention of the birds as it captured Sammy and started making its way to its nest. Sammy screamed for help and spat in the bird's eyes, causing it to collide with another bird, freeing Sammy and Shelly in the process. Sammy fell onto a raft upside down and was knocked out while Shelly rushed as she attempts to help, but other hatchling drags her to the ocean as Sammy was at the mercy of the birds. Sammy seemed to survive as the bird had finished hunting but had a nightmare about Shelly being captured by the birds, and he woke up. It was nighttime, and he didn't have to do much as the ocean tides moved the raft to the ocean. By morning, Sammy had already drifted far off into the ocean, and as he slides to check the water's current, adult turtles met him and, knowing he just recently hatched, attempts scaring him as they told him of the scary creatures lurking the ocean. One of the turtles encouraged him to follow his instincts as they left him to find his own path. He dipped his head only to be attacked by a piranha, so he climbed up to the safety of his plank. A young turtle, Ray, was wandering around and tried nesting with some turtles, but he got chased out and kept wandering till he came across Sammy's raft. After a brief introduction, they became friends and brothers as Sammy invited him over to his raft. They traveled all the way across the Pacific Ocean on their raft as Sammy and Ray explored the mysteries of the ocean and also had a wonderful time, like playing with seahorses, playing pranks on fishes imitating ship sounds, and also had a wonderful time with the jellyfish. They had grown into teenage turtles as Sammy told Ray of his encounter with Shelly after they hatched, how he accidentally saved her life, and also how he had a crush on her. At night, they were sleeping as their raft drifted them towards the east and west cooperation. Sammy happened to be having a dream about Shelly when Ray threw a jellyfish at him, waking him up. It was a new day to explore as they made friends with an octopus. They were still having fun when their attention was brought to a black liquid sticky substance polluting the ocean as the octopus, Sammy, and Ray took cover. The once now beautiful place was covered in oil and became uninhabitable as Sammy and Ray had to leave. They left for their raft and made contact with humans for the first time as a ship crashed around that part of the ocean, releasing oil as some officials were present to clean up the mess. The raft drifted Sammy and Ray to Wake Island, still in the Pacific Ocean, where they happened to make contact with humans again as a loud bang woke them up to the sight of rockets, helicopters, and parachutes. Ray felt they weren't safe there and might have to leave. They had gotten bigger, and with less space on their raft, they started having issues forcing their raft to break apart, and they fell into the ocean. Ray got angry and left Sammy as Sammy got caught by a fish net, and Ray, on noticing, tried everything he could to get him out, but to no avail. Ray, still waiting for Sammy to get out, got caught by a separate net as Sammy and Ray got separated for the first time in their lives. Sammy was brought onto a ship and saw an opening back to the ocean, but couldn't get back as he got stuck in a bucket and managed to roll around and got stuck again. He felt sad as he might never see Ray again. He passed out, and one of the fishermen found him as they laughed about it and threw him back into the ocean, where he was out for a few more hours until a dolphin came along and managed to resuscitate him, and he made his way to dry land and slept off. Some humans came across him and took him home. He woke to the sights of humans and was a bit scared as a young girl tried to develop a relationship with him. The girls took off to get some food for Sammy, leaving their cat with him. The cat didn't want him around and tried to scare him off by telling him how horrible the humans are and how they plan on eating him just like they did to the chicken. Just then he was brought food, and the cat left, still reminding him on the way off. At night, it was raining as the human mom told a bedtime story to her daughter. Sammy and the cat happened to be present in the room as the cat met him to get a response from the previous conversation. The cat told him of his exploration with the humans through various oceans, which made Sammy surprised as he thought there was only one. He was there until winter as they brought a female turtle, Vieira, as his new companion and also to mate, but Vieira wasn't having it as she was much older and felt she was been held as a prisoner as she only cared about eating, waiting for a chance to escape. At Christmas, the humans played wonderful Christmas songs as the human mom decorated Sammy's shell, and he showed it to his companion, but the cat, jealous of the attention he was getting, told him he was being marked for consumption, but Sammy didn't know whether to believe him or not. Vieira was released back into the ocean as they felt she and Sammy weren't compatible and wouldn't mate. At night, the police raided their camp at the beach, ordering everyone out. Sammy had no idea about what was going on as the cat met him again and lied, saying they were going to eat him, and he was asked to lay low and hide. The cat got into the vehicle with the humans, and they left, leaving Sammy all alone. Sammy, alone at the camp, couldn't fend for himself and began chewing at anything he can find, like weird plant, some dollar bill, and even a chunk of wood in the ocean, but it didn't satisfy him. He was floating around hanging on a branch when a trash bag wrapped his face, and he was almost suffocated when Vieira came to his rescue, removing the trash from him. Sammy was glad to see her. Vieira took him down the ocean to get some food, and while munching on it, they heard a sound as a young turtle was chased by a shark and collided with Sammy. They swam for their lives as the shark chased them, adamant as it wanted to eat them. They managed to find shelter in a small cave, and as the shark tried getting in, Vieira appeared and distracted the shark as the shark was focused on her now and tried eating her, but her shell was too hard and she managed to scare him off. They came out from hiding and Vieira, having saved them, left them to fend for themselves as the shark was no longer in sight. Sammy recognized her voice and realized she was Shelly. Shelly also recognized him and thanked him for saving her life twice. Sammy and Shelly became best of friends again and were wandering around when Sammy told her how he got bored drifting, going around in circles, and wished he could explore various parts of the world. He told her of a secret passage the humans talked about which could be used to access the places and offered Shelly to join him on his new quest, which she accepted as they decided to head south to ask around for the secret passage. They asked a sea lion who directed them towards where a lot of ships are heading. They left and arrived where a lot of boats are but found no secret passage. They even checked an underwater pipe, but it wasn't a secret passage. Feeling hopeless, they continued exploring until they arrived at a place where the water tasted sweet, and Sammy, on remembering humans talking about sweet water close to a secret passage, he felt he was close as they continued exploring. They weren't aware as they ventured into a river crawling with predators as they managed to evade a python and a large croc. They got ambushed by piranhas, and just as they were about to scare them off, Sammy got captured by a falcon as he was dropped in the nest for the eaglets to eat. The eaglets began munching on him as he tried to escape, but it was a high ground. Luckily for him, the falcon heard the sound of a chainsaw as she picks her babies and left the nest. Sammy saw some ship heading towards an unknown destination as the tree he was on was brought down, and he reunited with Shelly. He told her about the ships and how he feels they might be heading towards the secret passage, and they attempted to follow it. They arrived at the secret passage and found it hard swimming forward as the ship propellers made it difficult for them to do so. Sammy and Shelly held onto a rope, but Shelly couldn't hold for long as she was driven out of the secret passage as Sammy left the rope to get to her as he tried swimming past the secret passage, but was unlucky as the door of the secret passage got shut before he could get there. His hopes and dreams died at that moment as years passed by, and he drifted around the ocean aimlessly. He was depressed and blames himself because it was his big idea that led to all this. Still drifting, he came across an old turtle couple who told him of a young female who recently passed by, talking about a secret passage. Hearing about this, Sammy's hopes became high again, and he was excited that Shelly is alive as he hugged the couples and left to find Shelly. He searched all the way across the Atlantic Ocean and asked other turtles along the way, but he still couldn't find her. Still searching, he came across a ship as humans there were dropping items into the ocean, and he climbed onto a refrigerator and used it as a raft when a bird spotted the sign on his shell and asked him about it, and as he explained, the bird remembered a female turtle who told him about her friend with the sign. Sammy felt it was Shelly as the bird flew away. His new raft drifted him further to the Arctic as the temperature was at freezing point. A whale met him wondering what he was riding on. He tried asking the whale for help when a hook from a ship hit his raft as the whale took cover. The raft could no longer float as Sammy was forced to swim in the cold and was about freezing to death when humans on a boat spotted him and he was brought all the way to the ship. The humans were surprised to find another turtle in the area as he was brought and saw Shelly passed out and couldn't get to her. He was taken to a pod to rest as he overheard the vet accessing Shelly stating that she made a remarkable recovery and was scheduled for release. He tried and was able to open the pod he was kept and screamed her name, but the penguins became too loud and prevented her from hearing as the human found him outside and helped him get back in. He was scheduled to be released but first of all get tagged as he was taken to a rescue center. There he met Fluffy the cat again and was a bit mad because of the way he was tricked, but the cat apologized saying he was a bit insecure. Looking out, he Shelly about to be released and begged the cat to open the gate when the vet arrived. It turns out it was the mum who rescued him the first time and was happy to see him again. Sammy was really in a hurry to get back to the sea as the vet prepared to tag him before she releases him. He got tagged eventually and was released back into the sea as he hurried off to find Shelly. Still searching, some turtles met him asking for his help. He followed them to the area as a turtle appeared to be trapped in a cargo container. The turtle was Ray, his old friend, as fate brought them together again, and they were able to recognize each other. Still trying to help him get out, the rope holding the container snapped and fell, opening, and Ray got freed. Sammy told Ray about Shelly and how he would like to find her, and Ray on having idea on where she could be, a place where turtles meet to find a mate. They arrived at the place as Ray met with his mate, Rita. Rita was happy to meet Sammy as Ray always talked about him. Sammy asked Rita about Shelly and luckily for him, Rita happened to know where she might be and took him there. There he searched around trying to find her, and after searching for a while, he found her with a new mate, Robin, and was sad as he left. Ray tried comforting him when Robin came around to lighten up the mood and left to meet his mate, Clara. On realizing Robin was just a flirter and not with Shelly, he realized he misunderstood what he saw and left in joy to meet her. Taking Ray's advice, he made a big entrance with a friendly shark and was reunited with Shelly once again and apologized for what happened at the secret passage. Shelly was so excited to see him as they united once again, and they became mate as a wedding was held for them. Years passed by, as Sammy and Ray were much older and took delight watching new turtles hatch as they make their way to the ocean and whatever fate awaits them. Sammy found a new turtle unable to climb out, which triggers past memories as he stretched his flipper and was able to help the young turtle climb out. He watched as the baby turtle was about to take on a whole new deal of adventure. The end. Thanks for watching. Help support our channel by clicking on the super thanks icon on our channel and subscribe to keep up with new uploads on It's Mythical. We sincerely thank our viewers and subscribers and hope you stay tuned for more.